Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today for the full moon guidance video on Nadiya Shah's channel. I am so honored to be with you all again. My name is Natalie Levin of Natalie Levin Astrology, and it is always such an honor and a privilege to get to be a guest speaker on Nadiya Shah's channel. So thank you so much. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for watching. I am very excited and I have a lot of different feelings in my body about this full moon that I am presenting for you today. Oh my God, it's it's really something. So I'm talking to you all about the full moon that's happening on March 7th, 2023 at 7:40 a.m. on the East Coast of the United States. The full moon is happening in the sign of Virgo. The sun will be in Pisces and the full moon will be in the sign of Virgo across from the sun. They two are Pisces is the opposite side of Virgo. A lot is happening on this full moon. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let me dive in here. Let me tell you. First of all, Saturn, less than an hour later, let me make sure I'm reading that correctly, but less than an hour later, Saturn's entering the sign of Pisces for the first time in like 28-ish years. So picture that the full moon is happening at 7:40 a.m. on the East Coast of the United States. And then Saturn is entering the sign of Pisces at 8:34 a.m. on the East Coast of the United States. So within an hour of each other, we have the full moon in Virgo and Saturn entering Pisces. That's a lot of happenings all at once. So I want to really honor that if you are already leading up to this full moon, depending on when this video is released, you might be having a lot of different feelings of experiences being in your body. It's a lot going on all at once. And so how do I translate this into English? Let me translate it from astrology into English. Just those two aspects alone and transits. So here we have the full moon in Pisces, in Virgo, which is an invitation for us to dance with the polarity of I have the sun, which can fit 1.3 million planet Earths into it. That's how big it is. I have the sun in the sign of Pisces, which wants to, I'm a Pisces. My birthday is actually March 6th. So I really am feeling this full moon. So you might have this energy of I want to do Piscean things. I want to dance in music and poetry and all of the colors of the rainbow. And there's no boundaries. There's no limits for Pisces energy. It is completely the opposite of boundaries. It's ether, it's steam. And then the full moon is saying, whoa, hold on. We also need to bring in the laser focus here situation of Virgo. Let's bring it on in. Let's bring all that Piscean energy in, focus it super intensely. And depending on where this is happening in your chart, which I'll talk about later in the video, it is an invitation to, while I'm in the land of dance and music and art and creativity and connection to spirit, connection to guides, higher power. Shadow sides could be addiction, escapism. I also at the same time am being asked to come back and look at what's the next grain of rice that I need to move from here to here. That is a question that could be coming up around this full moon. There's also the full moon in Virgo. We'll be talking in a very harmonious trine with Uranus, which is explosions, shocks, surprises, earthquakes. This Uranus during this full moon is also going to be sextiling the sun in Pisces. So there's this conversation happening around, okay, I might get some surprises. I might get unexpected news. It would behoove me to stay loosely attached to my plans around this full moon, because there's so much Uranian energy dancing around. When Uranus is change, Uranus is unpredictable. So can I invite myself to stay loose with my plans, to stay loose with how I think things are supposed to go around this full moon? If I can stay looser with that, I think I will feel more ease than if I were really attached to the way this is going to look. We also, as this full moon is happening, have the energy of Chiron, which is our youngest wounding. Chiron and Jupiter intertwined, they're conjunct, they're dancing, they're saying, they're going to be completely conjunct on March 10th. Exactly conjunct, but we're feeling this already. So this youngest parts of ourselves, the deepest, youngest parts of us, to which there was no emotional attunement, there was no, let's say when I was very young, I had a lot of big emotions, and I was told, don't cry. I was told, crying is bad. I don't want to hear you cry. You're a bother when you have emotions. Those parts of myself that got shut down are calling out right now with Jupiter conjunct Chiron to say, actually, I am even bigger now because I wasn't heard then. It might feel that the expression, if it's hysterical, it's historical. If it's hysterical, it's historical, might come up for you during this full moon. I would invite you to check in. If you have a really, really big emotion, let's say someone looks at you on the street and you don't know this, but it reminds you of the way your dad looked at you when you did something wrong, or you were wearing something that your dad did not approve of. You might get so activated in your limbic system during this full moon that you feel like there's an emergency, something unsafe is happening. And this would be a great moment to ask yourself, is this big emotion truly an emergency? Because a big emotion is not necessarily an emergency. If I'm having a hysterical response to this, it might be historical. Can I become curious and investigate what's real? Is there more to this? It's all happening also while Saturn is at the grand finale of Aquarius. And when a planet is at the final degrees of a sign, we have two planets during this full moon at the final degrees of a sign, which is Pluto at the final degrees of Capricorn, and Pluto is going to be there for a few more weeks. We also have Saturn at the final degrees of Aquarius, and the story I make up on this day of the full moon is you might be feeling and experiencing with Pluto at the grand finale of Capricorn, a sense of pressure, a sense of I am a piece of coal in a cave, and the walls have been closing in and closing in and closing in on me for years. And I know that this is turning me into a diamond, yet I am not enjoying this experience. That kind of sheen might be on this full moon for you, as well as Saturn at the grand finale of Aquarius moving into Pisces in the same hour. There's a popping energy of Saturn in one of his favorite signs. Capricorn Saturn loves Aquarius. And he's saying, okay, we did all this work, whatever that was for you in the past 2.5 years, 3 years in the Aquarian area of your chart. Now we're popping it, and we're going to move into Saturn in Pisces all on this day. And you probably, listeners, may have been feeling this buildup already. You might be feeling the energy of Saturn in Pisces already, especially people. I find that people who are interested in astrology tend to be more sensitive. And so you probably are feeling this of this invitation from all of the multiverses to contain some of the ether, to contain some of the steam. How do I create a structure around how I communicate with spirit? What does that look like? How do I, oh, wow, as I'm talking, I feel like an orb just went through here. I'm serious. I seriously just saw a light move through here. Okay. Hi, guides and angels. I'm glad you're here with us. So, and we also have Mars in Gemini. He's been there for so long. He is having this 8-month transit in Gemini. Mars in Gemini is saying, hey, I'm talking to Venus today as well. I'm in a conversation, a delighted conversation with Venus in Aries. I'm sextiling Aries, Venus in Aries. So I might have a lot of access to words today that want to tell you all how I feel about the fact that I don't feel valued, or that I do feel valued. If I am able to be in my higher self as Natalie Levin, can I actually say, hey, I want to really let you know how valued I feel by you. Thank you. Your words mean so much when you say, oh my gosh, I love looking at the color you chose to paint your house. Wow, I love hearing you work, Natalie, on taking care of your teeth. Like that kind of, then I can say, I feel valued. I feel honored by your words. Thank you. My Venus, my goddess of beauty, my goddess of love, my goddess of how I feel valued, feels really seen and witnessed by you doing your Mars in Gemini. Like I'm taking action with my words to describe and express how I value you. So that's a high vibration of Mars in Gemini, sextiling Venus in Aries. Woo! This is quite a full moon. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to pause for a second and then I'm going to start with the signs. Wow. Okay, my beautiful Aries and Aries rising friends. This full moon is happening for you in your 6th house. making my throat get like excited because it's about health. It's in your health house. It's in your health house. It's your house of your daily routine. So Aries, you're having a lot of activity already in your 1st house during this full moon. Aries rising, I would say there might be questions coming up for you around, it's really a lot. You're having Chiron and Jupiter conjunct in your sign, Aries rising. You're having Venus there as well. So you might be feeling a lot of themes recently about how do I feel valued? I'm feeling very young. I want to, you might be noticing that you want to like have a tantrum. And here's something that one of my Aries friends recently said. She said, even though my friend treats me like a child, it doesn't mean that I have to react like a child. I don't have to land in the feeling space of feeling like a child. So if my friend says, hey, why don't you go help your mom now and care for her the way like you're supposed to do? And that's infantilizing for me as an Aries rising. Maybe I can land in a feeling space of, oh, that person really wants to control the situation. Look at that. That's interesting. I'm trying to get comfortable here. So I'm going to actually simply allow that person to have their feelings, and I don't have to react or respond. I can simply allow myself to do my own life and not have to do what that person was projecting onto me. So that would be high vibration of doing these like 3 intense planets in your 1st house, which is Chiron, Jupiter, and Venus all conjunct Aries rising. This is happening on March 7th. 2023. You also, Aries rising, are having the energy right now of there's an invitation to get more connected, have more of a conversation with your spirits, your guides, your angels, your most well-heeled ancestors? Do you talk to them? Are you having a conversation with them? Do you say, hey, I give thanks that you are all divinely leading me and divinely protecting me? If you don't do that, maybe this full moon is an invitation to you to step into more of a, how does it become some sort of a daily routine, part of your health regimen? Like, what is your spiritual health? Can you step into, oh, okay, maybe when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to take a moment as an Aries rising and say, hi, angels, hi, guides, hi, most well-heeled ancestors. I give thanks to you that I am divinely led and divinely protected. And it will be just like you wake up, maybe you brush your teeth in the evening, but if you're morning toothbrush, you brush your teeth in the morning, that's your practice. The Virgo for me is, I'm someone who has always loved rice. And when I was little, 1 or 2, I would eat 1 grain at a time. So it feels like the 1 grain at a time practice. 1 grain at a time here. I'm going to do the next grain is my remembering 1 morning a month to give thanks to my spirit guides so that I make it more of a daily routine. Easy does it, slow and steady wins the race. I invite you, Aries risings, to, if this full moon does bring up a lot of emotion for you, full moons pull on someone asked, why are full moons so emotional? And I said, well, without even getting into energetics, can we talk about the fact that when the moon pulls on the ocean and it pulls it in and it pulls it out, and our bodies, I've heard, are made up of about 85% water. So I can only imagine what that does to our physical selves, let alone anything energetic. And the person was like, oh, okay, that's helpful. Thank you. So Aries rising, if this happens for you, if you feel a lot of big emotions on this full moon on March 7th, I invite you to allow the tears to pour to and through you, and maybe wait before having a reaction or response. Maybe wait 24 hours or even 48 hours, because the feelings are so heightened with this full moon for you. I wonder how it feels to hear me say all that. I'll be curious to read your comments. Thank you so much. Taurus risings, beautiful beings ruled by Venus. Your experience of this full moon is that it's happening in the 5th house for you. And the 5th house is the house of fun. It's the house of short-term fun relationships, romantic. It's the house of hobbies. And because the full moon is happening in the sign of Virgo, maybe for you, Taurus risings, there's some sort of a thought with this full moon. Oh, maybe I want to start some sort of a hobby that is good for my health. Some examples are, I'm going to go out and walk and look for birds in the trees while I'm walking. Or my new hobby will be, I'm going to join Pilates and do some Pilates, and that's going to be my hobby. I wonder if this is, when I say these things, sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, is this going to make any sense to anyone? And I know that your guides and angels are putting these images in my mind to say them out loud. So I invite myself to trust that as I'm saying these images. You're also having an illumination, a lighting up, Taurus risings, around the 11th house for you, which is your friends and communities and groups. It's possible that with this full moon, you discover some sort of a group or community that is related to how you enjoy either connection to spirit, connection to guides, angels. Maybe you discover a whole new realm of people that, like when I first started to learn about astrology, I discovered a whole new realm of people who spoke this language in a way that is informed by spirit. It's not just science for me. It's like, oh, I'm talking to guides, angels. They talk through the vibrations of the planets for me. And that opened up a whole new realm of socializing for me. That kind of energy could be happening for you, Taurus risings, with this full moon. It also is an energy very much of, I invite you to, even though you're a fixed sign, Taurus rising is for me, the steadiest energy of the zodiac. Can you also allow space for this full moon to shake you up and wake you up with Uranus in a trine with the full moon? Can you allow there to be an awakening? Can you allow there to be an epiphany of like, whoa, I did not see that coming. Wow. Oh my gosh. Yes. There's life everywhere in all of the multiverses. Yes, there is. If I'm a Taurus rising and I am the most incarnate energy of the zodiac, can I allow there to also be an opening with this full moon and all of the Pisces energy, that there is so much that I can't see, so much spirit, so much that when for example, when I listen to near-death experiences on YouTube or podcasts, and I hear the people who have left their bodies, maybe they drowned and they were dead for like 5 minutes and then they came back into their bodies. They say that when they were not in their bodies, it was so beyond anything that their little brains could possibly comprehend. It actually blew their minds, like this Uranus and Taurus energy. It expanded their minds, and the container that they had come into this lifetime with was broken, and something new got to be created, which would be in alignment with Saturn now entering Pisces as well during this full moon, Taurus risings. I wonder how this lands for you. I'd love to hear. And I love that my orange flowers here in the background are reminding me of you, Taurus risings. When I think of Taurus energy, I also think of the most fertile, blooming, delicious flowers. And as I said that, a squirrel just jumped from one branch to the next outside my window. The squirrel was like, yes. I'm gonna pause between Taurus and Gemini. So my beautiful Gemini rising beings, this full moon for you is happening in the 4th house of your chart, the house of home and family, of origin, your connection to mother, your connection to nurture. And it's also squaring your sun, a lot of your sun signs. So this is a tension-filled moon for you. I forgot to say to you all that I invite you to keep in mind when I'm speaking that I'm seeing the energy of the chart through the veil of my experience in this lifetime. So if it doesn't match for you, let it go. Take what you like and leave the rest about what I say. So Gemini, you've been having this outrageous, powerful transit for months now of Mars in your sign. So you're like, oh my gosh, can we, I don't know. I project onto you that you're like, I'm ready for Mars to leave Gemini. It's a little much, enough already. I'm done with this, like get up and go catalyst, aggression, anger, energy in my astrology sign, my sun sign. And then we have this full moon coming along in Virgo that is saying, oh yes, you have all this get up and go catalyst energy in your sign, and your mind might be very, very active and it's moving very quickly. And we want you to focus, Virgo energy in the 4th house. We want you to focus on your home and how you create a home, what feels cozy for you, what feels soft, what feels receptive. That might not be the easiest thing for you to do right now, Geminis. And I want to honor and validate that for you. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm having these conflicting experiences being in myself. First of all, as a Gemini rising, you already have like 2 voices always talking to you. That's simply part of being you. And then you have now Virgo, the full moon in Virgo, and Virgo is also ruled by Gemini. So that is a lot. Even talking about Gemini, I'm speaking more quickly. It's so fast. It goes, I feel the energy of the sign as I'm speaking it. So it's, how do I invite myself to take some big full breaths on this full moon as a Gemini rising? How do I allow myself to, what feels like home to me? If I don't actually have a home, a place that I call home right now, what can I do to create a sense of being home in my body? Again, for me, it's a slowing down. It's a taking of big, gigantic, full inhales and long, slow, smooth outhales. That feels helpful for me with Gemini energy, Gemini rising, Gemini sun. You're having an invitation with this full moon, Geminis as well, to look at your career, how you are out in the public world. Do you want to maybe allow some softness into that experience? Can there be some, with your 10th house with this full moon, that your 10th house is in the sign of Pisces? That's what's coming up. If I am, let's say I work in an office 5 days a week, can I at least bring some Piscean energy into that experience? High vibration Pisces, not low vibration is addiction, low vibration is escapism. Can I step into, while I'm going to my job, I'm going to listen to a podcast, like a psychic story about connecting to my psychic powers. While I'm at work, I'm going to listen to some gorgeous music that really feels soul filling. That's Pisces energy. That's high vibration of Pisces. Things that you can do while in your career that are Pisces infused feel supportive to me around this full moon. You'll also be having the energy of Saturn with this full moon energy landing in your career area of your chart. So I feel like that is going to be supportive for you to get more focused, get more honed, Gemini risings, in terms of, okay, this is what I actually have to do to create structure and systems for me to feel successful, to feel supported, and actual strong walls, sturdy boundaries for me to feel supported and strong in as I'm out there doing whatever the career is. Doing one's career is not necessarily your heart's desire based on how each of your charts looks. However, you can go out and do, when I'm out in the world, when I'm working in my office job, even the way I interact with each person at work can change the vibration of the whole world. I really believe that. So can you set up some sort of a system and structure for yourself to connect with your highest self while in your career, so that it's almost like a divinitizing of your daily life? How do I do that? What does that look like? I wonder how this lands for you, Gemini risings. I'd love to hear in the comments. Beautiful. Virgo, or not Virgos. Cancers, Cancer rising. Cancer rising beings of light and love. So happy to be with you all. This full moon for you all is happening in the 3rd house of your chart, the house that is around communication, writing, your neighborhood, siblings, short journeys. So here comes this full moon in Virgo for you, Cancer rising. And maybe there's an invitation with this full moon to go on a bit of a journey. Maybe it's like, I'm going to go walk in a different part of the neighborhood and see whom I see while I'm out there. What would that be like? Because if I'm a Cancer rising, and I do have a Cancer moon, Cancer rising, so this would apply to me. I tend to like to be in my house. I don't really want to go anywhere. I'm very cozy and comfortable in my home. I don't really want to go and do many new things. I have enough of I feel like Cancer is the energy of, I'm at home here. This feels cozy. I want to stay in my cozy, nurturing nest. With this full moon, there's an invitation to go on some journeys, to expand the consciousness, to grow. It's also lighting up your education and journeys and big journeys area of your chart, with the sun is landing there, like the way I'm pulling the chart for you. So the full moon is happening in your third house, and it's opposing the sun, which is in your ninth house. So with that happening, beautiful and amazing Cancers, Cancer risings, can there be an invitation to you to say, okay, wow, I know I really like being at home. I like making a home. This full moon is inviting me to perhaps step out of my comfort zone. What would that look like? Does it mean I start to investigate learning something new, expanding my consciousness? Do I want to maybe start to communicate with people that speak another language? Are there people that I don't talk to because I feel like they're not going to understand me, or vice versa? Can I open up about that? Can I even practice authentically saying to someone in my life, you know, I've wanted to talk, I've wanted to speak Italian, but I've been afraid. I've been afraid of failing. The full moon in your communication area of your chart, which is the full moons in Virgo, can be a little critical. So even admitting that I am afraid of failing can take some of the power away when I speak it out loud. When I don't speak it out loud, it can grow and grow and grow. Oh, it's not worth it for me to even try. Actually, it might be. It might be. So Cancer, Cancer risings, I know that you can pull yourselves back into your shells and say, oh, it's so safe in here in my Cancer shell. I love it. No one can get to me. I'm very safe and I'm protected. And this full moon is inviting you to expand out and get a little wild and crazy with your comfort zone. It could even be trying a new dish of food. What would that be like? You may find yourself feeling also very passionately about what is just, what is right, what is true in the world. And when justice is not being served in your experience, you might get fired up about this with this full moon. And there's an opportunity to be of service in some way, Cancer, Cancer risings in this, as this full moon bubbles up for you. Like, oh my gosh, I really don't like the way, the fact that there are so many animals in my neighborhood that I see them and they need homes. So you investigate animal shelters and see, how can I help? Can I be the person who collects towels to bring to the animal shelter so that they have towels for the animals when the animals are brought to the animal shelters? It's Virgo energy. This full moon's in Virgo. So it's practical, it's earthy, it's I'm going to do the next right thing. What's the next grain of rice for me to do here to be of service in some way in my neighborhood, animal shelters? Virgo is small animals. And in that way, I might even expand the beings with whom I'm in communication. Like I might meet some whole new realm of people when I'm being of service in a passionate way. This full moon might light up for me. Whew. I wonder how this lands with you, Cancer, Cancer risings. I'll be very interested to hear in the comments if you're open to sharing. Beautiful Leos, Leo risings, Leo's rising, Leo risings. I'm not sure which way to say it. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you so much for your beautiful sun-filled beings. So thrilled you've stayed in your bodies. Thank you. This full moon for you is happening in your second house of money, finances, your actual physical home, like where you live. And it's asking you to get focused here. Okay, so I'm Leo rising. Maybe I, with this full moon, I can see things. Oh, look at that paint is chipping over there. Or, oh, that mirror over there, I really could it would help me to take time to hang it. Can someone hang it for me? Can I hang it myself? Can I use my Virgo practical talent, which we all have every astrological sign energetically in our chart somewhere. So here with this full moon, and it's in the second house, it's about your actual house, Leo rising. So here, I'm going to actually go figure out how to put this bolt into this plaster. I'm not going to talk about construction materials, but I hope you get the picture of what you might have come up for you with this full moon, Leo risings. It's this, I also, as a Leo rising, this full moon could be bringing some sort of a surprise or shock around my career and how money is coming to me. Do I get some sort of a raise? Do I get some sort of an exciting, energetic, oh, the way your money's coming to you is getting a shift. It's the diversion. Maybe it's like my job during this full moon shifts to a new pay method and I have to enter all my information. It's like the rivulet changes for Leo risings. Maybe you get a boon with this full moon happening in your second house. Now, I will also say that the full moon is in the sign of Virgo, which can be a little more restrictive, a little more, maybe it's this energy of, hey, we see you. We see how hard you were working, Leo risings. We see how much you're being of service. We want to slowly open up the trickle of how, I called it a trickle, the font of how money is pouring to you, Leo risings, whoever is in charge. If you might be in charge, you might be like, I'm going to open up the river more and I'm going to raise my rates kind of thing. It could look like that, Leo risings. You're also having your area of your chart that's around sex, death, magic, the occult, other people's money, inheritances being activated by this full moon. So maybe the spirit of Aunt Bessie comes along and she's during this full moon for Leo risings. And she's like, hey, you didn't look over this piece of paper that I left when I left my body. Take a look at it. And you realize, oh my gosh, there's an inheritance for me. I didn't even know that was there. That could happen with this energy. I'm hopeful. I want to go like full on optimistic Leo risings and give thanks in advance for your infinite financial abundance, that you have incredible access with this full moon to magic, to connecting in with spirit in a way that is empowering, that allows you to feel abundant and expansive and connected to psychic powers, which maybe sometimes you shy away from, Leo risings, because it's like, oh, I don't feel comfortable there. But actually, you get to step into this with this full moon. You get to say, I have beings on the other side that want to be of service to me and help me and support me. And the realm of my house, the realm of finances, I'm supported. I am cared for. I open up as a Leo rising to having an entity or a positive, delightful entity, the energy of something being of service for me on the other side, and that I am financially cared for. I have the energy of money always flowing to and through me. That kind of affirmation you could work with for this full moon, Leo risings. I also invite you to notice if your dreams are really active during this full moon. Pay attention to them. Is there some sort of connection or message that your spirits and guides and most well-heeled ancestors are trying to tell you during this full moon? Yeah. How does this feel for you? I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear what comes up for you. Beautiful Virgo risings. Thank you so much for staying in your bodies, choosing to incarnate. So amazing to be with you. And the full moon is in your first house, lighting up the root of your isness, getting an illumination at the base of your entire being. That is some powerful, amazing. It's right in the middle. It's like smack in the middle. It's 16 degrees. So here you are. As a Virgo rising, I would imagine you're getting quite activated by this full moon. If you are feeling lit up, like you can't sleep. I wonder, you know, some people the full moon lands as, oh my gosh, I'm having trouble sleeping. And some people the full moon lands as, oh, I can't get enough sleep. So it could land on either of the two poles for you, Virgo rising. This is lighting up your sense of yourself as a being here on planet Earth. And it's also lighting up the area of your chart that's around how do you connect with others? What is your one-on-one relationship with people? Like if you're in a marriage, that area of your chart is getting lit up right now as well. You're getting invited to be curious, how am I of service in my partnership? It could be your partnership with yourself. How am I of service in my partnership? If you happen to work one-on-one with clients, which if you do, this full moon is going to light that up for you as well. It's, oh my gosh, I feel so inspired. I feel like this is an inspiring full moon for you, Virgo risings. Like I feel supported in working with clients. I feel like I have Saturn on my side to be steady and sober and systematic when I'm working with my clients, when I'm in my marriage. I, as a Virgo rising with this full moon, am also having a lighting up, an accelerating, a quickening in my career area of your chart. I mean, you've been having that for about 6 or 7 months already, but it's like, okay, what's going on with my career? Am I enjoying this? Do I have more data that is downloading to me? Am I getting with this full moon and a lighting up and a awakening around information that I've learned? Can I see things that I have studied in a new light? Can there be a lightning bolt for me as a Virgo rising that allows me to see things with more, like the lightning comes and here I am. Let's say I've been studying, what does it mean to have Virgo in the first house? I've been studying that. And then this lightning bolt comes and it illuminates the whole landscape in a dark night. And I see things I haven't seen before. That kind of energy could be happening for you, Virgo risings, with this amazing and incredible full moon in your first house. I invite you to, if you feel off health-wise at all, let yourself rest, because it's a lot of energy, a lot solar energy. Again, picture that the sun could fit, and energetically 1.3 million planet Earths in it. That's how big the sun is. So with that information, you're having that infusion in the root chakra of you. Like if you think of your perineum, it's there. It's like, whoa, holy cannoli. Okay, let me connect in with spirit. Let me also ground into Mother Gaia. Let me ground down into Mother Earth. Let me remember that I can send this illuminating energy down to the center of the earth while I'm also opening up to spirit. Both are true. And with your ruling planet, Virgo, being Mercury, I feel like it could be that you get messages from God. Mercury is the messenger of the gods. So here I am, I'm Virgo rising with this full moon, and I'm getting messages from spirit, messages from divine. I didn't know they were coming, and now they're here, and I'm like, yes, amen. Can you tell I'm so excited about this full moon? I don't think it's going to be easy, and I think it's just such a cool full moon. I'd love to hear how this lands for you, Virgo risings. Please let me know in the comments if you feel open. Beautiful. Libra rising. Thank you so much. You're gorgeous beings with your ruling planet being Venus. How exquisite you are. So many, this air sign, artistry, being skillful with finances. Some of you, amazing. This full moon for you is happening in your 12th house. When I think of Libra, I wonder, how is it for you to really connect in with spirit? How is that? I'm thinking of the Libra people that I know that have mostly Libra in their charts. And I feel like that is not necessarily the easiest place for Libra energy to land, because its ruling planet is Venus. She's also the ruling planet of Taurus. It's very incarnate. Can you take a step out of your comfort zone, Libra rising, and instead say, hey, today, March 7th, 2023, maybe I'm an artist. Libra has a lot of artistry. Maybe I'm an artist. I am going to sing a song to the moon, the full moon today. Like, maybe you dive into connecting to spirit through your art. And I am connecting to the spirit of the moon. I'm connecting to all of my guides and angels that I don't usually talk to. I'm going to say, hey guys, my 12th house is getting illuminated with this full moon on March 7th. Let's have a conversation. Let me say, hello, angels, guides, most well-heeled ancestors. I'm a Libra rising. I know it's not like my favorite place to always be talking to you, and let's have more of a conversation today. How does this feel, Libra rising? I hope it's, your 8th house is having lightning bolts moving through it, Libra rising. You're having this lightning bolt energy, illumination moving through the house of magic in the occult for you with this full moon. You are having, I'm excited for you. You're also having your daily life. Your daily routine is having an invitation to bring more divinity to every moment with this full moon, and more art. Like, maybe if I am making the beds, for me, I listen to podcasts about connecting to spirit, connecting to guides, connecting to angels. I know now I am a Pisces and a Pisces Mercury, so that, and it's in the 8th house or 9th house, depending on how I pull my chart. So it feels very, I love living in that space. So for you, Libra risings, what would it be like for you? Okay, I'm going around I'm collecting the trash, and I'm going to listen to a podcast about connecting to spirits. I'm going to listen to a podcast about, or I'm going to put on Mozart or Verdi or Bizet or Puccini. I'm going to put on some gorgeous, outrageous classical music that I don't usually listen to, or opera, and see how that feels for me. What does that arouse in me? What creative libido gets lit up or lightning bolted or electroshock therapied for me with this full moon in my 12th house and the way the rest of my chart is getting lit up? How does this feel for me? I don't know. I'm excited. I guess your guides and angels are putting all these images in my mind. So I wonder how this lands for you, Libra rising. It might be not so easy for you with this full moon to do your daily routine, because you're like, your daily routine area of your chart is a little undefined in an outer space and like in soft focus. And if that's the case for you, can you be gentle with yourself about that? Like, oh man, I just cannot get it together to do my daily routine today. All right. Can you be gentle with yourself? There's no right or wrong. Easy does it. And a little softer focus, a little more connection to spirit, a little more memory that you are a spirit having a human experience with this full moon for you. And that might allow you, Libra rising, to be more of service in ways that connect to bigger groups of people, like the collective. Even if you, Libra rising, don't talk to other people, just by diving into these possibilities, these images that are coming to me that I'm suggesting, the vibration that you vibrate will be felt around the world, even if you're sitting at home in a burlap sack holding a brick in your hand. How does this land with you? I'd love to hear how what I'm saying lands. I'd love to hear in the comments. Scorpio rising. Hello. I love you so much. You're so cool. And ruled by Mars and Pluto, depending on whether you do ancient ruler or modern ruler. I have no planets in Scorpio, so I'm very fascinated. It's very mysterious to me. I love Scorpios. And this full moon for you is landing in your house of friends, communities, groups. It's also lighting up perhaps even more of an interest in astrology for you. You're like, oh, this full moon on March 7th. I'm like really feeling this. I want to know more about astrology. Yes, give it to me. It's this energy of, if I'm a Scorpio rising, how is it feeling for me to be in relationship with my friends and communities and groups? Do I feel like I'm being served by the people that I have chosen as the people with whom I spend time? Do I want to up level that in terms of like, oh, these people, I love them, but they don't quite, are not in the vein of the highest health for me. Like maybe if I'm a Scorpio rising, I go out and I'm like partying it up with my friends. This is great. Let's like pound the drinks. I'm in recovery for addiction, so that's not what I do. But like maybe you're doing that as a Scorpio rising, and you realize, wait, this is not working for me. This is leaving me feeling exhausted, drained. It's not fun for me anymore to do my socializing this way. Maybe there's a way that I decide to bring some more health, healing. And also for your chart with this full moon, a connection to spirit into the way I have fun. I know I keep talking about spirit, but it's this energy, this axis of Pisces, Virgo, Pisces, Virgo, Pisces, Virgo. How do I want to be with my friends in a way that serves something higher? Like when let's say I was in my 20s and 30s, I was living in New York City and I ran around and did many, many things that were not healthy for my body. And I had a lot of friends and I was incredibly social. And then little by little, I went through a bunch of transits and shifted and changed Pluto transits. And now I live a much healthier life. And my social life is really different. The people with whom I spend time, this is what might be happening for you, Scorpio rising with this full moon. I choose people that I know want to live healthfully, not necessarily obliterate their consciousness into addiction. You might be feeling this, Scorpio risings, like you want to be with people who are waking up to the fact that they are in this sacred human temple. This physical body is your sacred space, and you might be awakening to that, Scorpio rising, and you might find with this full moon that you get extra support to make a shift in what fun looks like for you. Maybe the people to whom you're attracted suddenly has a shift, a change. You're having Saturn move into your 5th house. So Saturn in the 5th house is like, it's like, okay, it's now becoming fun for me to do things that involve some work. That's for Scorpio rising. With this full moon, maybe there's this invitation also that if you're in a partnership, a long-term partnership, you could call it an actual marriage, or it could be, not on paper marriage. You have some awakenings and illuminations with this full moon of like, oh, this is okay. This is working. This isn't. Do I need to make a shift or change? I would invite you to wait like at least 24 to 48 hours before making any sort of big change or shift. with this energy, with this full moon energy. It's so big, it's so potent that I would invite you to pause before actually, like, if you're in a partnership and you're like, this needs to end now, hold on, slow it down a little bit and see if you can take some big breaths and allow 48 hours to pass before making that decision, unless you're in danger. But, you know, if you're not in danger, can you sit and breathe and see what more is revealed? Keep in mind, this full moon is illuminating everybody very intensely. It's quite a lot. And for you, also Scorpio rising, also keep in mind that you keep getting your 8th house, which is around magic, the occult, sex, death, has been very, very active. And you're getting a lot of input, perhaps not from what you can see in the 3D. So could you take also, here's an example, like I use a spray to clear my energy field. I do it several times a day. Can you do that with this full moon? Can you use a spray? Can you invite your hands to be scissors and cut the etheric cords that are connecting you to others? Can you do some sort of energy clearing with this full moon? That feels important for me to say. I'd love to hear how this lands with you. Please let me know in the comments if you feel open. Sagittarius rising. Oh, I enjoy you so much and your fiery ebullience and your energy of starlight and candles sparkling and glitter. Yes. This full moon for you is in your career area of your chart. It's in the part of your chart that is around how you are seen in the public eye. So Sagittarius rising, you might find that with this full moon, you have some sort of an illumination, or you're seen even more by someone. It can be one person, it could be you, it could be your spirit guides, but I really think that you might find that some people or some beings around you are like, oh, wow, what are you doing? Tell me more about that. I'm really interested. And then you get to be of service, Virgo, for these beings by sharing your sparkle, your enthusiasm, your magnetism, your truth speaking, your love, your the energy that you naturally have to go on journeys, to travel, to seek justice. You get to be of service and share that with others in a really, with this full moon, can you allow yourself to step out? I bang my knee with emphasis, to step into your authority, to be like, this is what I feel about how gold gelt, it's like chocolate. When we have Hanukkah here in the United States, you get like these chocolate coins that are covered in gold foil, and I'm getting this image of gold coins. And if I'm a Sagittarius rising, look, everyone, I want to share with you, this is how you get the best chocolate gelt. And this is the way to do it. And I want to share it with you. I want you all to know. And there will be people who will be able to take in your information with this full moon, Sag rising. It will be like, okay, thank you for being of service to me, Sag rising. I didn't know where to get the best chocolate. Thank you. That's making me actually want to go out and get some chocolate right now. Which I might too. It's also, there's this tension for you, Sagittarius rising, with this full moon about, okay, I have this impetus, this potential energy in my being to go out and travel the world and have adventures and go on journeys and expand my consciousness and expand my education. And at the same time, how do I do that? Well, I'm also having my home, my cozy home illuminated with energy. I want to be in my house and connect to spirit in my house. I want to connect in with all of my guides and well-heeled ancestors in my home, what feels like home for me. And at the same time, I'm having an energy moving through my whole body from my root chakra to be of service in the public eye, So how do I do all that as a Sag rising? That is an interesting question. That is, I don't have an answer to. I think that there's some illumination, some lightning bolts perhaps in your daily life. Like maybe here's a fantasy I'm having as a Sag rising. Okay, I'm having these lightings up with this full moon. Maybe I'm going to I'll make a little video or I'll record my voice if I don't feel comfortable being on screen. I obviously am very comfortable being on screen. If I'm not comfortable being on screen as a Sag rising, can I make a recording of my voice and share whatever it is with the world and put it out on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram? Maybe one person will watch it or hear it. That will allow you to go and be at home, have your cozy home time. At the same time, you are being in the public eye, Virgo, being of service where the full moon is lighting you up. And then you can go take your journey. Like maybe the journey is you go to the next state and have an adventure. Or the journey is in your inner world. You're going to gain some knowledge, study something, and grow your consciousness in that way. How does it feel to hear me say all that? I'd love to hear Sag rising. Beautiful Capricorns, Capricorn rising. Oh, my BFF from when I was 2 years old is a Capricorn, and I love that energy of your sign. I find it so classy, so elegant. I know I say that every time, but it's really true. It's what I experience. And for you, beautiful Capricorn, Capricorn rising, this full moon is lighting up your 9th house. So think about, I'm a Capricorn, Capricorn rising. Do I want to study something new? Do I want to take a class? Do I want to go on a journey? I know I've been working so hard with, and like, I also, as a Capricorn, Capricorn rising, I'm having Pluto in the grand finale of my sign all the way till March 23rd. So can I do something that lightens it up a little bit? Is that possible for me as a Cap rising? Can I can I invite myself to expand my consciousness and ways of thinking and seeing? What would that look like? Maybe well, I know for me, whenever I travel and go out into the world and leave the Philadelphia, that's where I live, in the Philadelphia area, my viewpoints change. I'm challenged to think differently. I mean, let alone traveling out into the world, going to other countries, other continents. Maybe that comes up for you right now, Capricorn, Capricorn rising. It could also be that you feel invited or illuminated to, if something has been bubbling in you that you want to communicate, that you want to write, that you want to speak out loud, that you have a lot of energy to be creative and beautiful and connect with spirit, connect with higher power, connect with all of your angels and guides with this full moon. Your 3rd house is where the actual sun is landing with this full moon. So it's, oh my goodness, I feel so connected to spirit. I want to communicate. I want to let people know what's going on inside of me. I am going to use my words to do that. That's going to feel really nice for me as a Capricorn, Capricorn rising. You are having lightning bolts moving through your fun house of your chart with this full moon. So maybe there's this conversation that happens of, oh, okay, what is feeling fun for me now? What do I want to do that feels fun? Do I want to, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if some of you Capricorn, Capricorn rising start to think about like, oh, do I want to bring a new animal into my life with this, with this full moon? Take some time before you actually do it, because, you know, the feeling of want, the feeling of being like, I really want a new animal in my life, a dog, a cat, whatever, a lizard into my life. Let it sit for 48 hours before actually bringing the animal home with this very, very powerful full moon. Because you will then have Saturn saying, okay, you got a dog, time to actually go out through the neighborhood, 3rd house, and take a walk with the dog every single day, 3 times a day, or however many. Let's do this. But that might be actually part of what draws you. You are Capricorn, Capricorn rising. You're also being invited with this full moon to possibly think about how are the ways I'm in having fun and doing my hobbies, are they supportive of my physical body? Is there something that I could do that brings in more support of the fact that I'm in this carne, meat? Italian, the word for meat is carne, and you are incarnated in this body. This full moon is lighting that up for you, your body, and what is fun for you, could it support your physical body also? The answer may be no. I invite you to know that I am unattached to whether or not you actually do or experience or like make happen anything that I'm suggesting. I'm simply channeling or saying the images that come through me when I'm seeing the chart and how Capricorn, Capricorn rising, how this full moon is dancing for you in this at this time. And I also would invite you, Capricorn, Capricorn rising, to know that you might have some in your family of origin, either, the family of origin is the people from your birth parents. It could also be adopted parents. It also is you making a home for yourself, your cozy home. There might be some voices coming from there saying, we need more, like, we want to be heard. And that will possibly be in contrast and tension creating between you wanting to go out and expand your consciousness, learn new things, and yet your home life is saying, wait, we need you too. So that is a tension-filled conversation that also might be happening at the same time on this full moon. I'd love to hear how this lands with you. I invite you to leave your thoughts and comments below the video, and thank you so much. It is an honor and a privilege to read them. Aquarians, Aquarius rising and Aquarius suns. My Venus is in Aquarius, so I really love you. Like, I actually do. Hashtag Venus in Aquarius. This full moon for you is in your magical, incredible 8th house, which for me has this image of you sitting with your crystal ball, like, I'm an Aquarius rising, and this full moon is lighting up my crystal ball with lightning bolts, electricity, sparkling out to the sides. I have, as an Aquarius rising, I am having so much access to my own magic, my connection to spirit. Can I make sure that with this full moon, I am calling in the most beautiful vibrations of spirit? So because 8th house also is related to shadow, there is, just as there is always light, there's always shadow. There is an energy with this full moon for you, Aquarius rising, of, oh my goodness, this could be a doorway for maybe an energy that I'm not so interested in having conversations with, that energy coming in. So here I am. I'm going to say, I give thanks to all of my angels and most well-heeled ancestors and highest form spirit guides to be with me and care for me and comfort me. It's really specific. I invite you to be specific with Virgo being the full moon in Virgo. Virgo is specific. Virgo is not, it is the opposite of vague. It is laser focused. So you get to have this conversation in a laser focused way of, okay, who do I want to talk to? What kinds of conversations do I want to have? Do I want to talk with nature? Virgo can be, I'm out in the fields gathering the wheat. Virgo is health. Do I, as an Aquarius rising, also want to allow the second house, my second chakra. So it's second house, second chakra, to be a little softer. I know that Saturn is just leaving your sign on this same day, only 54 minutes after the full moon happens. Aquarius rising, that's a really big deal. You have had Saturn in your sign for, it feels like forever. And now on this very day of the full moon, Saturn's leaving your sign. So he's moving from, with the way we pulled this chart, he's leaving your first house, which is, I feel like is going to be like, oh my God, thank all the angels, praise Goddess. Because you've had a long run of it there. So here goes Saturn leaving your first house and moving into the second. So you'll have support. I get this image of, okay, I'm an Aquarius and I do like having, Saturn is my ancient ruler. So I like structure, I like systems, and Uranus is my modern ruler. So I also explode. There's no box for me. I explode it. Can Saturn offer a little bit of structure or system for your second house? Like, so you don't, he doesn't leave your first, you're not left high and dry by Saturn. He's going to say, okay, it's all right. I'm going to hold the way you connect to your home, the way you connect to bringing spirit, allowing it, let's say the way we pay bills right now is money for most of us, allowing spirit to infuse my connection to money so that I am, it's not an entity outside me. Money is an energy, it's infused with spirit, it's infused with goddess, God, angels. And with this full moon, I'm supported in creating a structure and system around that so that I have a place to live. I have a home. I can use magic. I can allow magic to be of service to me for this endeavor. I wonder how this is feeling, hearing me say all this. Aquarius rising. I'm helped by knowing that Uranus is one of your ruling planets and Uranus doesn't fit into any box. So I'm hoping that you can ride with me on this. I will let you know that my North Node is in Aquarius. So, that's what you're hearing as well. Your house of Aquarius, your house of like your family of origin and what feels like home for you is also getting lit up with, it's like change, eruptions, explosions with this full moon. So I wonder if something is happening for you in your birth family, the family that birthed you, or the home you're creating. Is there some sort of a shift, a change, a break that's happening for you there, or like a lightning bolt of like, it was this way, and now it's that way. This full moon could bring something like that. The change can be like that. So I wonder how this lands with you. I'd love to hear in the comments if you're open to sharing. And Venus and Aquarius, I love you. I love you, Aquarians. Beautiful Piscean beings of light and love, Pisces sun and Pisces risings. I am one of you. I'm in my liquid. I'm in my Pisces liquid of not being able to get, now, okay, Pisces rising, this full moon is happening in your 7th house. So your house of marriage, your house of one-on-one contractual relationships. So if you hear some things, let's pretend, I've been in therapy for 23 years. So let's pretend, about 24 years. Let's pretend you're in therapy. You might have some sort of an illumination, like, oh, the way I'm working with my therapist needs a shift. It needs to change. This therapist isn't working for me anymore. I need to make it, something has to shift and change for me. My marriage might be, if I'm a Pisces rising, it might be, oh, what can I do to make my marriage more of a healing vibe for me? Like, what I'll say is, I know that the relationship, being in a partnership, it could be a friend, it can be a romantic partner, that creates a container for incredible growth and change for both parties. And a third entity is created when you're in a partnership. That is the relationship. So there might be with this full moon a question or an invitation for you, Pisces rising. How can I allow my long-term partnership to be a healing realm for me? What does that look like? This would be like, would it be helpful for us to bring a pet into our connection? Virgo rules small animals, so I'm saying that. Do we need to have, would it behoove us to have some illumination, some sort of third lightning rod expression to light up how we communicate with each other? Can we have some sort of a volcano or earthquake around the way we communicate with each other? And can that allow the terrain of our partnership to shift and change in a way that supports our relationship and us? What would that look like? Pisces rising, you are also having, well, it's like this conversation between, I want to go and travel with this full moon. And that is in contrast with my being in a long-term stable partnership, and also my connection to home and hearth. How do I integrate all of those energies with me wanting to shine my Piscean light all over the place? Pisces has no boundaries, and at the same time, travel and explore and be very visible in an exploratory consciousness expanding way, and at the same time be in a partnership in a healthy way, and at the same time communicate. How do I allow myself to communicate about family of origin, birth family, and the way I make my home and hearth? These voices don't actually necessarily get along. So that is a lot to hold, quite a big container you need, Pisces rising. Can you hold space for all of it? Can you allow the way your mind works and the way you communicate to be lightning bolted and expanded and lit up with this full moon? Can there be a shock and surprise that you use productively with this full moon around the way you think about things and the way your mind works? What would that look like for you? I'd love to hear in the comments if you're open to sharing. And now, everybody, I thank you all so much for being here. I invite you to keep in mind that everything I say about all of your signs and rising signs and the chart, I am seeing through the veil of my experience in this lifetime. So if it doesn't match for you, let it go. I invite you to soften it, let it go, take what you like and leave the rest. And if you'd like to work with me one-on-one, you may go to my website, natalielevinastrology.com. I invite you to, I do have a YouTube channel. You may subscribe to my YouTube channel at Natalie Levin Astrology. I would be honored to have you there. And you may find me on Instagram at Natalie Levin Astrology. And I am on Facebook at Natalie Levin. They didn't let me use the word astrology. I'm so honored to be on Nadiya Shah's channel again. Thank you so much, Nadiya Shah. For those of you who don't know, Nadiya Shah is an Aquarian, and my North Node is in Aquarius, and my Venus is in Aquarius. So I feel like our charts. She's part of my North Node. She's part of why I chose to incarnate. So thank you, everyone, so much. I'm so happy to be with you all, and I will see you for the next one. Okay, take good care.